Hey everyone, welcome back to Topher Drives, where this evening we are back with the 2025 BMW M4 CS, BMW's latest lightweight version of their G82 M4 xDrive. And when I say we're back with the M4 CS, I really mean it, because this is the exact car that I drove at BMW's Test Fest down in South Carolina late last year, around October. And this is an even funnier coincidence because the M5 that we road tripped down to Peoria, Illinois earlier this year was also the exact car that I drove down at BMW's Test Fest. So Jeff from BMW, if you're watching, are you keeping track of what I'm driving and sending them up to the Detroit fleet? Or is this just a coincidence? Either way, tonight, we're finally going to see what it's like to live with this BMW M4 CS in this beautiful shade of individual Riviera blue, one of the two standard individual colors, which is a bit of an oxymoron, but anyway, this is one of the two that they will sell you off the showroom floor, this or Isle of Man green. And today we're going to see if this lightweight M4 is livable. I even said at the end of my first impressions video that I filmed in South Carolina, we would get one of these back to HQ and see what it's like. Well, we've had a bit of a spoiler alert because we drove the M3 CS, I think that was 2 years ago at this point, and that was quite a nice livable package. And while this is basically just the two-door version of that, most of the CS stuff that we saw on the M3 CS does carry over to the M4. So this is 77 pounds lighter than the M4 Competition xDrive Coupe. This weighs in at just over 3,900 pounds. So not the lightest thing in the world, but hey, they're trying. There are some weight savings. They've used a lot of carbon fiber reinforced plastic to lighten this car, the hood, the roof, bits of the front bumper. We have lightweight wheels. We have a titanium exhaust on this car. It sounds excellent. Power output is also bumped up to 543 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque. So torque stays the same, but we have a 20 horsepower bump over the regular M4 Competition. And keen-eyed viewers will have noticed lots of other little touches to this M4 around the outside that facelifted as well for 2025. So we have these laser taillights on all of them. These are no longer exclusive to the CSL or the CS, which is cool for people that don't have a special edition M4, but makes it a little less special for those that do. But there are little touches like these exclusive gold wheels. This one has the optional carbon ceramic brakes. The M4 CS starts around $123,000. This one, as spec'd with the Riviera blue paint and the carbon ceramic brakes, comes in at $137 grand. So it ain't cheap. This is well over the six-figure threshold, but geez, we were just driving an M3 Competition xDrive, and that was over $100,000. So maybe if you're gonna go big, go really big and get yourself a CS, and we'll see how livable it is tonight. My favorite angle of this car, I can't believe I'm saying it, is the front. I think with the CS treatment, they've done this so right. And I want to show you my favorite thing. So we'll click unlock and you'll see these yellow DRLs come to life. This is a tribute to the GT3 race car that we all see run in IMSA in the GTD Pro class. And they've also kind of mimicked that car with the openness of these grills. These don't really have as much plastic design bits in them. They're kind of just open. We have these very small little grill pieces and also these orange trimmings around. I mean, this is as close as you can get to the GT3 car without just fully buying the GT3 car. So I do really appreciate that they've kind of paid homage to that thing. But otherwise, everything else has been done tastefully. Carbon fiber mirror caps, as I mentioned, carbon roof on this car, the gold wheels, it all looks quite nice. Now, the sky's looking a little bit scary. I never know what's going on with the weather anymore because it changes every 15 minutes, but I'm hoping that we aren't going to be in the rain because we are on a set of Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2s. This has a staggered setup. In the front, we have a 275/35 ZR19, and in the back, even though this is an xDrive, we do have a wider tire back here. This is a 285/30 ZR20, so wider tire and bigger wheel on the back. I don't know, guys. I think as far as G80s and G82s go, this is my favorite one that I've seen so far. They've just gotten this so right design-wise at this point. It's only taken us, how long? 5 years to warm up to this design, but ooh, this one is proper. All right, let's poke around this real quick before, oh geez, I don't want to say before it starts raining because I don't want to manifest that, but we will survive even if it does. In the trunk, nothing changed back here, just the normal space you get in any G82. Little handles here to fold down those rear seats, making this actually quite practical. And even more so because the M4 CS actually comes with rear seats. Usually when BMW makes a lightweight model, they do leave the rear seats in. While I was down in South Carolina a couple of months ago, I drove the E36 M3 lightweight, and even that thing with no air conditioning or radio still had back seats. So BMW does care about you being able to take your family to things, I suppose. But anyway, let's show you what lies under this carbon fiber hood. As we mentioned, it's still BMW's iconic at this point, and the basis for what they have in the GT3 car, I should mention, that is the 3-liter turbocharged, twin turbocharged S58 inline 6 in the CS, again making 543 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque, 20 horsepower over the regular M4. So it's lighter and it's more powerful, and it still has MX drive. This is an all-wheel drive car, which I think is smart for something like this because these get a little bit sketchy. And the good news is if you are a purist, you can decouple the front drive shafts and you can run this as rear-wheel drive only. But for normal people, it's nice to be able to have the X drive and also to be able to put the power down to get this thing to run to 60 in allegedly 2.7 seconds. But to me, it feels even faster. Of course, we'll try that out today. But anyway, you guys know this car. Let's jump in and let's go for a drive to downtown. Inside, we have these carbon fiber bucket seats trimmed out exclusively for the CS, and they say CS on them. You can see that lights up there, but we have this special red trimming and the special red inside the perforations. Otherwise, the seats are the same. Beautiful carbon fiber backing, and I do actually just quickly want to jump in the back seat to show you that it is usable. Sat behind myself here at 5'11", I am comfortable in this back seat, which is hilarious because this is a M4. It shouldn't, I shouldn't say that it shouldn't, but you wouldn't expect it to be this nice back here. But I can sit up straight, I've got plenty of leg room, and you can even tickle the driver through these little holes in the seat. Little pass-through in the middle. Unfortunately, rear seat passengers don't get anything except some elbow rests and some tiny little door pockets on either side. But of course, with this not having a traditional console or anything, you don't even get any rear HVAC vents. All right, only difficult part is getting in and out, but even that isn't really too bad. Lately, BMW coupes have been quite practical for backseat use. We saw that with the M2 as well. Getting in and out of this, for me, as a 26-year-old, it's fine. But if you have a parent or a grandparent that's interested in getting one of these M cars, have them go to the dealership, have them get in and out of these seats because they might not be the ones for them. However, if you want to get the CS, these are your only choice. BMW won't sell you the comfort seats in the CS. All right, let's go ahead and fire it up. Also, the car's been telling me to check the tire pressure, but all the tires are exactly where they should be, so I don't know why it's telling me to do that. But anyway, we will keep an eye on those just because the car is concerned. You can see some ambient lighting coming through and illuminating all of this carbon fiber. This is just a wild amount of carbon fiber in this interior. It's on the steering wheels, it's on the dashboard. The entire center console is carbon fiber. This is like a piece of art. I mean, it goes all the way down past where you can even see. So this entire center console here, which is exclusive to the CS or the old CSL, if you all remember that car, it's all completely made out of carbon. So you do lose your armrest and your cup holders here in the middle, but at least you do get one on each door panel. But BMW still gives you this little wrist rest to operate your iDrive system. So we do appreciate that quite a bit. We still have this M shifter that I do appreciate, which means you can change gear down with your hand on the floor. If you're twisted up in a corner, you're drifting, you want to go from second to third, you can hit this instead of pulling a paddle. We still have a volume knob. This has the iDrive 8.5. So almost the newest version of iDrive. I've had no problems with it this week. It's all been working just fine. However, I'm noticing that they haven't made the DRLs? Oh, maybe they have. Are they yellow in that? I can't really tell. At least the car's Riviera blue. I mean, we're pretty used to this interior at this point in these G8X platform cars. So with that all being said, why don't we just get this thing out on the road and show you what it's like to drive spiritedly first, and then we'll jump out on the highway and show you what it's like to commute. To go into reverse, it's kind of like operating an old BMW manual transmission, which I think they did on purpose. That opens up our reversing camera. We'll disengage the parking brake. You can see those leading lines do go with the car. No 360 camera in here. Into drive, you bump the stick over to the right. My favorite thing about this interior is this standard flat bottom Alcantara wrapped steering wheel. Apologies for talking over the Cup 2 ASMR there as we flung up some stones. But here's the thing about this car is, yes, it's a CS, yes, it's the lightweight version, and it's pretty hardcore, but BMW has kept all of the important things, like the back seat, like the air conditioning, like the radio, like the ground clearance. I just went over that speed bump back there, and it was totally fine. They've kept it X-Drive. I mean, there are a lot of things in here that make this the lightweight car that you can daily drive, and I really like that. Sky is looking a little dark over there. As far as inputs go, things are pretty much the same here as they are on any other M4, though BMW has gone through and recalibrated just about everything in this CS. Of course, we have our programmable M modes. Make sure this guy's not coming around. He is not. I've got my M1 mode set up to everything in comfort, but powertrain and gearbox in Sport Plus. Don't know what this fella's doing. Give him plenty of room. So this is kind of my streetable setting if I just want to have some fun real quick. And then I've got M2 mode set up for full attack mode, everything off, which allows us to try launch control, which we'll do in a second. All right, these tires are cold, so we're going to take this easy through here. It's so quick, guys. I mean, so quick to the point where you could argue it's not super usable on the street, only for, I don't know, a couple of seconds here and there, and then you're getting up to speeds where you don't want anyone to see you achieving them. I love the way this titanium exhaust sounds. It gives you just that much more, kind of a raspier note from this S58. I'll let you hear a little bit of that before we try launch control. Now we're gonna go into our M2 mode to do launch control. Have to confirm that because it turns off the chassis stabilization, but we have to go one step further and turn DSC off completely in order for this to enable launch control. So let's go ahead and put this into drive and see if this will do a 2.7 to 60. All right, let's go. That's a launch control that takes your breath away. That is just organ rearranging, breath stealing. Let me regain myself for a second. I always used to say, there's nothing faster than a Nissan GT-R off the line, and I stuck by that. From the moment I drove one in 2020 up until I drove an xDrive M4 and that went out the window, the way these get off the line is unreal. I honestly can't think of another internal combustion engine car other than like maybe a 911 Turbo S that makes you feel the way that this does off the line. It's unbelievable, the grip, the way you can feel the car think, sending power to which wheel, and just rocketing off the line is seriously unbelievable. With some of the unique tunes that they have on this, you almost feel like the car is propulsing you forward every gear change. It's like what I imagine driving a Ferrari F12 is like. I've never driven one, but I imagine it's like this. But everything is very smooth and streamlined. This is not a scary experience in this car. It's very confidence-inspiring. Oh, here come the raindrops. Good thing we're done with the performance section. M4 CS in the rain. Hopefully not the last ever Topher drives video. After I just get done saying, it's not scary. All right, well, let's see how these tires do. It was not supposed to start raining till 9 p.m. It's 8:18. Let's turn on the auto wipers, see how those guys do. But here's the thing. I mean, BMW went through and they tweaked just about everything with this car. It's got different anti-roll bars. These dampers have unique settings just for the CS, the engine, the transmission tune. All of it is just a little bit different than the regular car. This even has stiffer engine mounts. So there are lots of things going on here that set this aside and excuse the price hike. This is the best sounding S58 that I've heard from the factory too. This titanium exhaust is properly dialed in. There is definitely a more aggressive tune on this 8-speed auto sourced from ZF or ZF, however you all would like me to say it today. But even with that being said, this transmission still settles down fantastically. You can see it there coming to a stop. You don't feel it downshifting. We'll take off regularly, not in M1 mode, and you'll be able to see just how this behaves on a day-to-day basis. When you put this into its comfort settings, it's really just like driving a regular M4. And I think BMW M has gotten a little bit better at this sort of thing. They've kind of made these cars more Jekyll and Hyde every year. They've made them more dailyable. Or maybe I'm just getting used to it. That's possible as well. But I remember driving the old X3M competition and just thinking how ridiculously hard that car was and how like brutal it was to daily it. But this one's fine. Like, I've been okay driving this for the past couple of days. It hasn't been beating me up. it's really been a nice experience. Look at us merging at 70. Good job, Tundra. And like most hot BMWs, this doesn't really have any sort of fancy cruise control system, just regular, no adaptive cruise, nothing fancy, just old-fashioned cruise control. Very easy to use, single button push on the left side of the steering wheel, and you're there. It does the trick. Even here on the highway, even with this being stripped out in light, even with a Cup 2 on here, I can whisper. These new lightweight cars are not what we used to know. This is not an E36 lightweight. This is a lightweight car for modern times. But I like it. And here's what I like the most about daily driving this. The dampers. These have a unique tune for the CS, but they don't sacrifice daily driving. I mean, I want to say they feel just about the same as a regular M4 when you're on the highway. This car is not over damped. It's not bouncy. And of course, with this having adaptive dampers, you would expect that. You'd expect them to have a soft setting and a hard setting, and that's exactly how these are. But some companies, that's not always the way that it is. So you don't always know what to expect. Sometimes companies don't get the suspension tuning quite right. But happy to report that BMW has done it here on the M4 CS. We also have a Toyota GR Corolla this week, and that thing is just way too stiff in my opinion. I mean, that's a fixed damper, so it's a little bit different. Toyota had to choose what they thought was a good middle ground. But anyway, I know I shouldn't compare a GR Corolla to an M4, but I feel it's appropriate in this sense, just kind of performance car to performance car. Love the seating position in here. Love how low down you can sit. I love a sports car where I can feel like I'm sitting just about on the floor. That is accomplished very well here with this M4 CS, and in fact, any M4 that you spec these carbon buckets in. Seat comfort is pretty good as well. I've got my adjustable bolsters here on this little switch on the bottom of the seat. Otherwise, no lumbar support, but that's okay. I mean, I don't really know where they would even fit lumbar adjustments here in these little tiny carbon buckets. Visibility out of this is pretty good. You've got a little blind spot back by the C-pillar, but that's just about it. And the rearview mirror does a pretty good job. It's a nice size. It looks nice in here. It's frameless. The mirrors do a good job. You can see the nice attractive haunches on this thing. I was hoping I'd be able to get by this Subaru, but that doesn't look like it's going to be the case, so we will settle behind him. But I don't really feel the need to be going 160 up the left lane in this car. 8th gear, 70 miles an hour. I'm revved under 2,000 RPM. We're doing 33 miles to the gallon right now. That is hilarious. Average this week has been only 15, but I've been driving this like a CS should be driven properly. Ergonomics in here, elbow comfiness, pretty dang good on the left side. I've got some good squish here for the left elbow. And I've kind of just been resting my arm here on the shifter as far as that goes, since we don't have a center console. And my forearm here rests nicely on this little CS badged cushion. I think this is kind of how BMW intended you to relax in this car. Okay, let's stop relaxing for a second. Those gear shifts are very hard when you're in S3 mode on the gearbox. These carbon ceramics feel fantastic, very linear and progressive bite from this brake pedal. These are all things you'd expect from a car like this. BMW's been in the world of making performance sports coupes like this for a while. But man, I really do love this thing. After the Topher and I had the M3 CS for a week a couple of years ago, or whenever that was, I need to go back and see, we agreed that it was our favorite modern M car, and the same goes for the M4 CS. They've just struck such a nice balance with this car to where you really don't have to sacrifice much. And I think for the year 2025, more people are appreciating a one-car solution. And if you were really crazy, you could throw a set of snow tires on this and drive this thing year-round in Michigan. You could do it. Genuinely. I don't see what would stop you. You have xDrive. You have places to put your stuff if you're commuting this to work. If you have like a briefcase or something, you could take this on a day trip. You've got plenty of trunk space. The S58, when you're not driving it like a hoon, is actually quite efficient. And this is real noise from this. Some of it's piped in, but most of it is genuine noise from these titanium mufflers in the back, or the one big singular titanium muffler, whatever it is. Oh. That was an aggressive downshift. Okay, put these windows back up. Conclusion's coming a bit early in this video, but what I'm trying to say is this is a very livable car. I mean, even over these bumps here, these whoops, these like expansion joints, it's fine. I have no complaints. It does everything I want it to do. I will say the only bit of uncomfortableness you get is from these tires. It's literally just the Cup 2s, because these are a very hard compound. They're very sticky. So going over certain bumps in the road, you get kind of that initial punch from these Cup 2s and from these large wheels, but then the dampers work to soften everything out. Okay, we're gonna jump over to Shell, put some 93 in this. Even the headrests in this are comfy. We've got a nice amount of squish, and you can actually take these out. There's two little torque screws underneath the headrests for when you're on track, so you've got room for your helmet. I mean, they've really thought of it all with these cars. They really have. Now I'm gonna have to turn into the outside lane, because I'm turning directly into this Shell station. So please forgive me for that. And we're gonna angle this up, which you can do pretty easily there. Never want to smash up any of that expensive carbon fiber that we have on the front of this car. That would not be very fun. All right. Let's get some $5 93 octane into the M4 CS. I love how BMW's screens always show the exact car that you're in, even down to the little stripes on the hood. Rear occupant alert. Nope, nobody back there. I feel like it's a bit tough to look dignified getting out of this with the carbon buckets, but we try our best. This just pops right open. BMWs do still have fuel caps with this little convenient location to stow that. Oh no. We've got a slow pump again. Right, I've completely run out of patience, so that's all that's happening. I'll just put more in it tomorrow or something. I don't want to be caught in the rain today, so let's go over to the grocery store and wrap this one up. Geez, did 3 gallons even raise the fuel gauge? Oh yeah, we're up closer to half a tank. All right, whatever. It's something. We're gonna attempt to pull this thing out over here. Just gonna have to give it quite a bit of angle. Please don't tear up any carbon fiber. Okay, we've done it. We've done it. The M4 CS has enough ground clearance to get down most driveways. All right. Oh, and there is a Honda Insight in my regular parking spot. What am I going to do today? I'll try this one. See leading lines, do a nice job there. Only thing we're missing is a 360 camera. It's funny, the car does feel a bit long for this parking spot, but I think these are just kind of short spaces, and this parking lot is pretty much empty, so I think we'll be okay. But let's shut the M4 CS off, take a look at our spacing here in this spot, Yeah, these are just really little spots, because I mean, look how far this door opens into the next one. You'd have to be real careful if you had anything next to you. But yeah, we're in there. Alrighty guys, well I'm gonna run into the store. I only have to get about one grocery bag worth of stuff, and then we'll finish our trip into downtown, and that'll be a wrap for this one. We actually ended up with 2 bags of groceries today, so we'll have to see. Actually, what I want to check first is if I can fit these behind the passenger seat. I think I'll have good luck with that. Obviously, we have proxy key here on this M4, and you could use your little M colored loop to move this front seat forward a little. I think, I don't know, maybe one behind each seat? I don't know what our solutions are in the trunk. Let's see. Yeah, I fear that everything's just gonna roll around if I have it in the trunk, so let's maybe do this. We'll do one behind the passenger seat, and we'll put the other behind the driver's seat. How about that? Obviously, this wouldn't work if you had rear seat passengers, but for today, it works just fine. So before it starts raining, let's jump back in this M4 CS. Love these light up CS badges. And let's get it back on the road. Steering on this car, when you have it in its comfort setting, or efficient, whatever BMW calls it, it's actually pretty light, and it's very quick as well. That never changes. It's always quick. But it makes it nice and maneuverable for getting out of places. I know this kind of modern era of BMW M steering isn't the most world-renowned. People don't really love it. And I kind of understand that. You know, you don't really have the best idea what's going on with the front of the car. You know that whatever's happening is happening in a very quick manner, but you can't really feel those front wheels. But at least from a daily driving perspective, it does okay in a parking lot. So good job there. BMW does have a unique tune on the power steering system in the CS as well. So you get a little bit more from this in the corners, but at the end of the day, it's no E36 lightweight. So, okay. With that being said, let's go ahead and test out this Harman Kardon sound system with our favorite sound system test song. Mosquito in here. Terrible. Got it. Got a physical button here on the right hand side of the steering wheel, as well as, of course, as we've said multiple times, a volume knob. Now here's what I think about this sound system. I don't think it's particularly impressive. I think this era of Harman Kardon, really not the best. These G80s and G82s, they're okay. I'm not going to say it's a bad sound system by any means, but no part of it really blows me away. I would say it's just kind of very middle of the road. And it's a little bit of a bummer because the i4 gets a very good Harman Kardon. So it's a different system than what you get in an internal combustion 4 Series or 3 Series. But yeah, these Harman Kardons have kind of just always been middle of the road for me. So that's that. But as it starts to drizzle here, and I'm hoping it stays just a drizzle and doesn't soak the roads, we'll be okay because we're not going to be driving this at 10/10. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Now, here's the thing. Okay, these G80s and G82s have been growing on me a lot lately, especially the 2025 model year cars. that green, what was it? Frozen Tampa Bay green individual M3 comp that we were driving on the channel a couple of months ago, or last month, whatever that was. I have a hard time remembering time things. I said that that was the best G80 that I've ever driven, and I'm going to stand by that, and I'm going to say that this is the best G82 that I've ever driven. There's some kind of special sauce they're putting in these for the 2025 model year, and I absolutely love them. And I love that this CS is just special enough. They've changed just enough appearance-wise and internally to make it, I think, worth it. I mean, it's cool to have special editions of cars. We know that. We always love a good special edition. But they haven't made this unlivable, as you've seen. And college students like it quite a bit. As you can see, this guy's breaking his neck looking at the car. So it does all the stuff that you want an M4 to do. And for that, I really love it. There's nobody up here. Alrighty. Well, guys, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you all so much for watching and hanging out with me in the video that I promised. We finally show you what it's like to live with this new lightweight G82. It's been a treat. I love looking at this car. I especially like driving it. I love the yellow DRLs, and I think BMW has gotten this formula just about dialed in, and unfortunately, it's just about in time for them to phase out this generation of 3 Series and 4 Series. I'm pretty sure there's a new generation coming, probably for the 2027 model year, because I think they've already announced some things with the 2026. But we'll enjoy this for the last few years of its production. It's finally gotten to the point where I think it's just about perfect. So thank you guys so much for watching. If I've left anything out, please let me know. But that's going to do it for us today, and we will see you in the next one. I'm going to try and make it home before we have any sort of torrential rain. Oof. Okay. That'll do it. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.